The Spartans were taking on the East Golden Bears. At halftime, Boardman led it 28-0, and as expected, it was an aerial show for quarterback John Ryan of Boardman. On the Spartans' first possession of the third quarter, Ryan found Leon Marucci from 12 yards out. The point after was good, making it 35-0 Spartans. Then again at the end of the third quarter, this Ryan pass to Dave Roncone took it down to the 2. From there, Ryan Behringer blasted in. The point after was missed. Boardman led it 42-0. They ended up winning tonight 42-6. Pets Owners, 21 Action Sports.
Defense was the name of the game tonight out in Boardman, where the Spartans were led here by number 44, Troy Wilson, with a big stick, as Boardman would take over after a Cheney punt. This is where the running game of the Spartans took over. Dan Matthews gonna pop this one for 24 yards, only it's a touchdown saving tackle by Ryan Hennessy. Spartans went right back to the ground game on the very next play. Troy Wilson up the middle, he's gonna break a tackle right here, 24 yards, clear sailing, touchdown, and the Spartans had themselves a 7-0 lead. That was the score at halftime. The Spartans defense would never let the Cowboys get on track on offense. Watch the big hit there by number 92. And in the third quarter, Matt Basco would drop back to pass, but he's picked off here by Jason Travelli, and the Spartans were in business as he would be chased out at the 19-yard line. Then 3 plays later, John Ryan would drop back. He would hit his wide receiver here, Leon Marucci, with the touchdown, and Boardman had themselves a 14-0 lead. And that ended up being the final score from Boardman tonight. Mike Ackelson, 21 Action Sports.
This was as good a game you will find on any level of football. On Boardman's 6th play of the night, Aaron Boyarko went the distance, covering 78 yards for the touchdown. The point after was good by the Spartans, and it was 7-0. Mooney's deepest threat of the first half took them down to the Spartan 13, but a Cardinal fumble was recovered by Tony Nez of the Spartans. Boardman led it at the intermission, 7-0. On the Spartans' opening drive of the second half, they marched it down to the Mooney 17, but a John Ryan completed pass was fumbled. The Cardinals recovered, stopping the Boardman drive. Following another Boardman turnover early in the fourth quarter, Mooney marched at 47 yards on a 13-play drive, and on 4th down from the Boardman 9, Jim Campbell hit Terrica Jones in the corner of the end zone. The point after was good by the Cardinals, and it was tied up at 7. On the Cardinals' next possession following a Boardman punt, they went to the march again, and they took it down to the Spartan 13. That's when Terrica Jones nailed a 30-yard field goal, and with 2:12 left to go in the game, Boardman trailed Mooney 10-7. But no lead is safe with John Ryan on the field. He went to work, taking the Spartans down to the Mooney 5-yard line. And with 8 seconds left to go in the game, he kicked a 20-yard field goal, tying the game as time expired in regulation. In the overtime, Boardman took the first possession, and on their second play, Ryan hit Chris Diffley with a 20-yard touchdown pass. They converted on the one-pointer. Boardman led it 17-10. On Mooney's possession in the overtime, on their third play from scrimmage, Jim Campbell hit Chucky Marlowe for the touchdown, making it 17-16. The Cardinals went for the two-pointer, and only a great defensive play kept them out of the end zone as Boardman prevails tonight 17-16. Pets Owners, 21 Action Sports. Spread out over the first and second quarters was a Ursuline scoring drive that covered 73 yards in 16 plays. It was capped off by a 21-yard Zico Millen field goal, and the Irish led it 3-0. Ursuline would make it 10-0 with 50 seconds left in the first half, marching 65 yards in 12 plays. Jason Williams blasted in from the 1. The point after was good, and Ursuline enjoyed the big lead. Following the Irish kickoff, Boardman's John Ryan went to work, taking the team down the field, and with 5 kicks left in the first half, he kicked a 24-yard field goal. It was 10-3 Ursuline at the break. The third quarter saw 2 possessions, one by each team. On Ursuline's, they took it down to the Boardman 11-yard line, and on the 13th play of the drive, they coughed it up and Boardman recovered. The Spartans' drive covered the final 5 minutes of the quarter. The big play of the drive was a 31-yard pass from John Ryan to Dave Roncone. On the final play of the quarter, a 20-yard Ryan pass found Jeff Finley for the touchdown, and it was all tied up at 10 headed into the fourth. Boardman's defense dominated in the fourth quarter. The Irish had 3 possessions that totaled 4 yards of offense. Late in the game, the Spartans maneuvered in the field goal range, and with 1 minute and 35 seconds left, John Ryan kicked a 31-yard field goal, giving the Spartans a 13-10 lead. The Irish would have one more shot at it, but an interception by the Spartans would end the Ursuline hopes as Boardman improves to 8-0 on the year. The final once again, Boardman 13, Ursuline 12. Pet Saunders, 21 Action Sports. This one was a stunner as Fitch rolled over Boardman tonight, 38-0. On the Falcons' first possession of the evening, they took it 57 yards in 13 plays. The touchdown coming as Jim Toto went in from the 4, and it was 7-0. On the Spartans' first possession of the evening, Greg Tabola picked off a John Ryan pass, taking it back to the Boardman 24. They converted that into a Gary Pritchard 33-yard field goal, making it 10-0 Fitch. On the ensuing kickoff, Jason Treveri of the Spartans fumbled, and Jim Toto picked it up for Fitch, taking it the distance into the end zone. And after only one possession, the Spartans found themselves down 17-0. On the Spartans' next possession, Ryan was picked again, and Fitch converted that into another touchdown, grinding out an 11-play, 63-yard drive. Craig Bodis rambled in from the 3, and it was 24-0 Fitch. The Falcons would add one more before the half. Following a Greg Tabola punt return, taking it down to the Boardman 8. 3 plays later, Chuck Javits cashed in from the 2, and in front of a stunned, capacity crowd at Boardman, Fitch led it at the half, 31-0. The Falcons would put one more touchdown on the board in the second half. Craig Bodis blasted in from the 9-yard line, making the final 38-0 Fitch, as the Falcons claim a piece of the Still Valley Championship for the 3rd straight year, finishing the season at 8-2. And perhaps not making the playoffs, but certainly deserving them. Pet Saunders, 21 Action Sports. This game tonight between Warren Harding and Boardman was a physical, hard-hitting contest. On the Spartans' first possession of the night, they took it 67 yards in a long 17-play drive. A touchdown pass from John Ryan to Dave Ron Cohn covered the final 9. The point after was good, and it was 7-0 Boardman after 1. With the Spartans driving again, Omar Provitt of the Raiders picked off a John Ryan pass. Following that pick, the Raiders took it 80 yards in 3 plays. The big one was a Chauncey Coleman 41-yard scamper, taking it down to the Spartan 1. The very next play, Myron Elsie plunged in, tying it up at 7. Once again, Warren Harding turned an interception into points. Following a Tom Powell pick, Chris Ensign nailed a 27-yard field goal, giving the Raiders a 10-7 lead at the intermission. Following a scoreless third quarter, the Raiders took a 9-point lead on this 45-yard pass and a great catch in the end zone by Kendall Richardson, making it 16-7. Warren would score once again late in the fourth quarter, making the final tonight 23-7. On the night, Warren Harding had 5 Boardman interceptions, holding the Spartans to 28 yards rushing in the second half.
Coach, any special defensive scheme coming in against a good passer?
No, you try to put some things in and pray a little bit, and we didn't contain him very well. I mean, he threw the ball darn well tonight. He's a great quarterback, great football team Boardman has, and my hat's off to Coach Bourne. And you know, we did things right when we had to.
Matt Saunders, 21 Action Sports.